This conference will now be recorded.
Right. To create your free account, actually, we need to have your email IDs, any of the for that matter. We can use any of the Microsoft email IDs, or you can use your personal email IDs also, like hotmail.com, live.com, MSN, Outlook. These are recommended email IDs to subscribe, but it's not mandatory that you definitely need to have these email IDs to subscribe for the free subscription anyway. So next thing is you must have a credit card to subscribe, and I'll discuss all the steps how we can control your bill between 300 to 400 maximum in a year, not more than that. So I'll tell you all the tricks how we can manage the bill. So for US guys, it is 10 less than $10. You though practice every day and you spend 2 3 hours on the portal, still your bill comes under $10. You need to follow my recommendations all the time. I'll show how do I control my bill as well anyway. So again, if you wanted to see that, some people would have some misconceptions that if I create the account and if I leave behind the scenes that it'll get keep billing. It won't actually. So let's go through some FAQs and then we'll start the account anyway. Right. If you look at the first page where it is just you go to the Google, just type Azure free account. The first link, what it is coming up on the top, you click on that link. Okay, there it will land a page. This page will let us to create the account in fact. So if you see at the bottom, start for free. So generally, it won't charge you anything at all for 1 month, and you get the $200 credit for 1 month usage. You don't need to pay anything for the first month. From once the credits are over, you have to turn into pay as you go to use your services to create it. In fact, but for 1 month, it is absolutely free. So when you start paying it, when you upgrade free subscription to pay as you go workload, in fact, you have to upgrade. If you don't upgrade, it will not let you to create the services. You don't have to pay the money also, both the things. So for Indians, actually, if you are creating your free account, you get 13,000 credits. That 13,000 credits, you cannot use it in a month. It is not possible to use it because there are limitations. You cannot consume more than 4 CPUs when you are under free subscription. But with 4 CPUs, you can do a lot of lab. Whatever we are going to do, you can practice all of that anyway. So don't create the free account today. Wait for 2 more days. I'll tell you when to create because we're going to go talk about the standards in the next class. Then we'll enter into the practical side of it. So you have to wait for 2 more classes because I don't want to lose you 2 days of time because once you create, clock will run and you the free credits will get over unnecessarily. Fine. So once the free credits are over, you have to turn into pay as you go. When you turn into pay as you go, and there will be free services, there will be there are free services which are free for 12 months. In fact, these 12 months services actually they are not big. In fact, in nature, I'm going to show that what other services are available at free of cost for 12 months without any bill, but those services are very tiny in nature. You cannot do the actual live practicals with those tiny services, but still we can use in certain cases. When do we use it? I'm going to talk about that anyway. So these are the things, guys. If you are creating a free account, you can use absolutely your credit card. There is no issue at all. In the beginning, it will charge you ₹2 for Indians, $1 for US guys, and that $1 or ₹2 will be credited back within 48 hours. So why they are charging? Actually, just to check that your card is active, kind of. Okay. So maybe nowadays they are even accepting debit cards, that I'm not sure. It used to be, but nowadays they removed or they keep doing it. I'm not sure. Just check it out. If it is really working, you can go for it. So this is all about free subscription, guys. I mean, it will not charge you at all unless until you turn into pay as you go, unless until you create services and then start practicing kind of anyway. Then you click on the start free. Before I click on the start free, what I wanted to do, I wanted to create an Outlook account just for the sake of coming from the scratch. Microsoft recommending to have one of these email IDs: hotmail.com, live.com, msn.com, and outlook.com. These are all email ID domains for the Microsoft. In fact, this is a recommendation from the Microsoft. Have one of these email ID. So I'm going to create one Outlook account quickly, and I'm going to use that account to create the free subscription. So that you will see right from the scratch kind of thing. So what I'll do again, I'll go to the Google. create free Outlook account, right? So I'll go to here. I'll use this account to subscribe anyway. Okay, where it is landed. Fine. So I'm going to create a free Outlook account, and I'm going to use this email ID for subscribing the free subscription. In fact, so when there will be maybe 35. Is it available? That has been taken. Okay, 36. Come on, it's not taken. Really? Fine, it is available. So I'm giving a password. Okay. Right. So it is checking for the email, availability. Then it is asking for the password to give, and then your first name and last name, and you have to give your country of region where you belong to, and then your date of birth, right? So next. So then it will verify that you are not a robo kind of thing. So create an account. It will load an image. In fact, okay. Pick the B. Right. Where is the B? You here, and pick the B again. Yeah. It is verifying that you are not robo kind of thing actually, right? Where is the B? Here is the B. Again, where it is? This is the one, right? Yeah, right. Now it loads the account. So I'm going to use this email ID to create a free subscription. So I have the Outlook account. You don't need to have, it's not a mandatory thing, but as the Microsoft is recommending, so I quickly created one sample account ravinder.b38outlook.com. I'm going to use this account for creating the free subscription. Let's do that now. So I got the account now to use for free subscription. Now, how did you land into this page? Just you go to the Google and just type Azure free account. The first link which comes at the top, click on that, and then you'll land into this page and click on the start free, and then it will take you to the account registration process. It is simple anyway. And I have kept every screenshot that is actually you run through to create a free account. So once we run through this, I'll let you know what are the things we need to know in the portal to work as a cloud admin. So now I just created an account which I B38, right? And I'm going to use this to create the free subscription, right? So use the same password what you have used for your email, in fact, here, right? Right. So now country of region, your name, your last name, and your email address and your phone number. Phone number must be a valid one. You have to give a valid one, and you have to verify your phone number. In fact, your details never be misused. It is a multinational company. They are absolutely trusted people. We can give our details. In fact, okay. So actually, link will be the same, guys. I said in the last class also, some people are asking still for the link. In fact, link won't change. The same link. Sorry. Okay, fine. So now, if you see here, guys, I gave my number, which is valid, of course. So you have to verify your phone number. First, you give your first name, last name, email address, and then the phone number. And the phone number, after phone number, you have to text it. Actually, in fact, to verify your phone number, you get a verification code to go to the next step. In fact, so yeah, I got a code. So I'm going to enter this code. Right? I'll verify it. It is done. See, the verification is done. Organization keep itself. It is not something you're creating for any organization. Your PAN card is optional. Give your address details and then agree the terms and conditions, right? And then in the next step, fourth step, it'll ask you your credit card information anyway. Okay, you have to once you give these details, it is a address of your credit card. In fact, where you have the credit card address, you just give it, and then next step, you will give your credit card number like this. So let me show this how it look like. So once you enter it here, first thing is about you. About you will ask you this, your first name, last name, and phone number and all. Phone number is verified. Third step is you have to give your card details here, in fact, right? And then when you are giving identifiable card, you have to give your address line and all that, first line, second line, all that. So it is simple process and it's not tough to just to create few free account. Just give in the first step, it is asking your first name, last name, and email address and the phone number. And then once you verify phone number, it is landing with your address. Then it will ask you to enter your credit card details and CVV number and all that. Okay, then you click on the sign up. Sign up will generally take 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours to 48 hours. In fact, you create today, it will get activated within 2 hours, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours, generally within 2 hours. But uh, it all matters, guys, depends on the resource availability. Especially, before the pandemic, it used to be 2 hours only, absolutely 2 hours. When the pandemic is started, then the time interval was increased, actually, in fact. Okay, so now once you create your free account, you wait for it, like get it activated. How do you know that it is activated? So I'm going to log in with my subscription. Okay, so portal.azure.com. You have to use this thing all the time. Portal.azure.com. This is my subscription where I have activated subscription. Right. So here, if I go to subscription, you have to go to subscription. If you don't find a subscription under your favorites, just go to the quick search bar, search for the subscription. Okay, click on the subscription. You will see the status of your subscription here. Is it active or it's not inactive, something kind of. This will give you the information, in fact. Okay, so you have to wait for this get active and then start building the services. If it is not active, you cannot create the services, in fact. Okay, it has to turn into active status. Fine. So let's come to resource groups here. Do I have any services under here? I do have some services, it seems. I'll delete it. Actually, I do a lot of R&D with my personal account. Before I do in live, anything I explore personally, then I implement in the live environment, in fact. Fine. The portal look like this. When you logged into your portal, it look like this. You all the options in the left side will be favorites and create a resource and home dashboard. Also, these are all default options. What you see, all this. So what is this? This is something. If you don't know service where it is and how to reach the service, you just type it. SQL example. All services which have the SQL in it, it will get given. Popped up in below window. If you can see that everything has SQL in it. Whatever it is showing, there is an SQL in it in the name. So if you don't know that service, how to find it, this is the best way to find it. In fact, virtual machine. In fact, I wanted to create a virtual machine, but I wanted to reach that service. In fact, just type virtual. So wherever virtual is there in the service name, all will be given in the list. Okay. So here you can easily click on this and then start building the virtual machines. Okay, so this is a quick search. In fact, anything that you wanted to, you don't know the service how to reach, like where it is, kind of, you go there and search the keyword, few keywords of that service. The service name will given in the search list, and then click on the service and start working on that. So this is a so quick link. Anyway, we don't use this all the time. I'll tell you other ways to find the services more effectively. But still, as a beginner, you need to know that how you can search for a service. Where if there will be hundreds of services, in fact, and it will be created for many other profiles. In fact, so if you wanted to reach the service, you have to go and search here, networking example, networking related services. All the networking related services are showing up here. So this is how you quickly reach the service, whatever you wanted to reach and whatever you wanted to create, whatever you wanted to administrate. If you don't know how to find it, you come here, search for it, click on that, and then go there and look at the services and do the your job kind of thing. Okay, this is something Cloud Shell. So I'm going to cover the top part and then I'll come to the left side, and that's how we're going to wind up today's class. So you need to know, if you know this, you can manage any profile you are from. Like it can be DBA, it can be any other profile. You need to know all these options what I'm going to discuss today. This is a Cloud Shell. Cloud supports for the Bash shell and PowerShell. We're going to dedicatively discuss on this one. Bash shell, I'm going to spend one class on the Bash shell side for the familiarization. I'm going to create Unix machines, how you can connect to the Unix machines, how you can communicate with the Unix machines, how you can talk to the Cloud Shell. All that we're going to talk about. PowerShell, anyway, we all know. PowerShell is something which can talk to the Windows platforms. Bash shell is something which will talk to the Unix platforms, in fact. That's how the shells are defined in the cloud. This is something we're going to have separate discussion. Right now I'm not going to pick this up. And the next thing is domain, Active Directory. These are all Active Directories. How many domains? I create a lot of domains, in fact, for many classes. So here, if you wanted to create your own custom domain, and then you wanted to map the identities from the domain to your services, in fact, how we can map, again, how we can migrate from on-prem Active Directory to cloud Active Directory and use your identities in the cloud seamlessly. So there will be no difference, guys. In fact, if we are working in the real time, your company email ID or your company account will log into your Azure portal straight away, because there is a sync in the background. On-prem Active Directory to cloud Active Directory, there is a sync within 30 minutes. If you update the password in the on-prem server Active Directory, it reflects in the cloud Active Directory in 30 minutes. In fact, it is a 30 minutes delay will be there. So we're going to talk about how that migration can happen. A domain migration from on-prem to cloud, and use identities in the cloud, and the same identity what they use in the on-prem, they use the same identity to interact with the cloud services. That we're going to see in practical. That is separate topic for us. These two I'm going to leave for now. Let's check on the bell symbol. What is this bell symbol? Bell symbol is very important for us. Whatever you create, whatever you delete, whatever you update, whatever you do here, if anything that takes some time to happen in the background, when it is taking time to create or destroy or whatsoever you're doing, it is going to give the status here. See, I'm trying to delete the resource group and it is deleting. It is in progress. One got deleted. It successfully said that deleted resource group, it is deleted. Another one is getting deleted. It's saying that it is in progress, it is running, and it is running since last 4 minutes. In fact, it runs the clock. So this is something I'm going to talk about at the end. I'm going to create one VM. I'm going to show that how it is going to show us what are the stages a service go through to get provisioned. That also I'm going to discuss. Let's leave for that now. I'll pick this at the end of the class today itself. And this gear symbol, it's like your desktop. I mean, how you wanted to see your desktop, how you wanted to see the default portal. In fact, there are many options how we can customize yourself, your uh, subscription, how you wanted to see when you land into your account actually. So directories, which directory you wanted to connect, default directory. So this is my default directory where I am connected by default. So whatever the account you create, that account will get one default Active Directory by default. You don't need to create it, get created with your email address itself. That should be your default account. You can create your own Active Directories the way you want it. We're going to see that how we can create our own customized Active Directories as required. So this is something we will cover in the domain part only. This is something appearance, how you wanted to see your home page. In fact, you have a flyout. If I click on this, if I apply, the left side window, the left side pane will be just collapsed. See here, it is not coming up. If I click on this again, I can see it. And then if I click anywhere, it is actually hiding out, right? No, I don't want. I wanted to see this all the time because I do work very frequently on many services. I don't want to click on this and then see the service kind of. Whenever you work with the many things, maybe you wanted to see the big window on your browser, then collapse it. It is simple. Go to the gear symbol, go to the appearance and here, and then fly out and apply, and docked again apply. If I apply this back again, this option will be shown. It is docked. It is just stationed here. I mean, it won't get hide out in fact. Okay, so how you want it, I keep it actually, docked itself when I work. But when you work on multiple things at a time, maybe you wanted more browser space to see the options, then you might hide out for a temporary basis, but you can dock it, these options. Next is theme. By default, theme is like this, but if you wanted to change the theme, if I click on the blue and apply, see theme is getting changed in the background. So the way how you wanted to see it, if I go to dark theme again, it everything will become dark like this, everything. So what you like, in fact, it's up to you. I don't like dark much generally. It takes a lot of eye concentration. It's up to you. I mean, up to your personal choice. So go to here, appearance. I'll keep the default only for personally. What I use is the default one. Next is contrast. Contrast again is like you'll see it. You know how the options look like this. You see this underlined, and then you go the black again. It will be black theme with a contrast kind of thing. So this is something how you wanted to see the portal, as simple as it is. When you log in, it looks like the same what you're setting up now. Absolutely, it will be. It is like your desktop, how you are setting up your desktop thing, kind of thing. Okay, so which is fine. So I don't use this again. I'll go with the none. It's up to you. If you really like, you can go for it. Right? It's up your personal choice. And then focus on the navigation, enable, disable doesn't matter. Startup views. So where do you want it to land? When you log into the portal, I'm logging off and logging in. Where I land in by default, dashboard. Where if I click on the dashboard, this is what the screen it was displayed when I logged in. If I don't want to log into the dashboard, if I wanted to log into home page, I can use it. I can go to the gear symbol again, go on appearance here, right? And then I'll use this home page and then apply. So I'll land into home page whenever I log into my subscription. So generally I prefer dashboard. How we can build your custom dashboard, how we can monitor the database, how we can see the transaction ratio, how it is going on the database, how the data growth is happening, how many blackings are going on, right? How many sessions are hitting the database. We can see that on the dashboard. We can monitor certain databases which are critical and they are under performance impact. We can continuously monitor it and then tune it. So something we're going to talk under monitoring of the SQL Server using the like a metric based monitoring. We'll see that. But for now, dashboard is something which we can customize. What services you wanted to monitor on demand basis, we can customize in fact using the dashboard. So home page is a static page where you see the certain services here which are static almost all the time. Okay, so home page just given for shortcuts, some shortcuts. You wanted to go to SQL Server, you want to go to the SQL database, you want to go to the virtual machine, you wanted to go to the story account. Did they give story account? No. So you can just some custom services are like added here. You can just click over it, but I do personally like dashboard, keeping it dashboard as a default page where we can land in. Yeah, someone have a question? Deepak, you want to ask something? Fine. So now, next thing, what next thing under gear symbol? You see this setting symbol, gear symbol, and then next language. So now last thing is your default directory. Don't change this default directory. Keep it as it is. You don't change it to custom directories. Keep it as to the default itself. Next, language and region. This portal is made in many languages. In fact, if you see this one, there are 16 to 20 languages. In fact, this portal is made. Some region people, they don't speak English. They wanted to speak only in their own native language, and they only work in their native language only. That's why the portal is created in many languages. It's not in Hindi anyway. Like Indians are good enough to to be, they are good in English. In fact, they don't want to be work only in Hindi kind of. They prefer to do anything. So that's where there is no Hindi kind of. Though the world population is very high in India, still they did not create. If you see this one, Dutch and Indonesia, Italian, and this is Chinese, maybe Japan. What I'm not sure which country, but yeah. So you see this one, if I change this, all options will turn into that language, even you can understand, right? You don't understand. So, but the native people, they can change their default language and the options will be shown in their native language. Okay. So generally, if you are belong to that kind of, then you can change it. But generally, you don't need to change. It's your information. What is the email ID you have used? It is just showing up. When you subscribe to your account, what are the details you have given? It's just showing up. Sign out, this is important. This is very, very important. Keep it 15 minutes only. Don't ever keep it never. If you keep it never, what happens? The browser will cache your password. Whenever I give portal.azure.com, my account will get opened without asking the password. So you should not do that. You should not keep it never. Live environment, see, as your account, as a SQL DBA account, you can create the VM, you can destroy the VM, you can create the database, you can destroy the database. So you have high privileges, in fact, very high privileges. So when you have high privileges, you should protect your account. If someone else's get your account access, maybe you did not lock your laptop and someone else got the you know they use your laptop and damage something, you will lose your job. As simple as it is. Because our accounts will have a high privilege account, because you can destroy the entire company resources if you want. Most of the resources you cannot delete certain services, of course we can lock it, but basically you have the permission to destroy, basically. Okay, so that's something should not happen. So if you don't, there is no activity on your browser, it should log you out after 15 minutes. It's just something security and safer thing. Keep it 15 minutes only, don't go for 30 minutes. Also personal advice, even I use 15 minutes in the live portal where I work in the real time. Okay, don't give the higher value here, keep it 15 minutes only. So this is what about settings, guys. This is about your personal settings, of course. It's up to your choice what you use it, but just you have to know about this. Next thing is help. Help is very, very, very important for us. Certain things are not under our control. In fact, the underlying infrastructure is not with us. If I'm trying to start a VM got stuck. It is not coming online at all. It is not responding to restart, stop, nothing, just hung. So in that case, do you have any control to recover the situation? You don't have it, because the underlying infrastructure, you don't have any control. Only you have Microsoft that have the control. In that case, you definitely have to go to the Microsoft to get it resolved. There is a ready-made option. I will tell you that if the VM gets stuck, we have a situation where we have the options to recover it. I'm going to talk about that because we had such situations many times. We contacted Microsoft, we got the solutions how to fix it. I'm going to talk about that for now. But for the certain situations, maybe you have a SQL database, the connections are intermittently breaking for some reason. So can you check that why it is breaking? You cannot, in fact. It is given by the Microsoft as a platform. It is running on their infrastructure. What's wrong on their platform? We don't know. We don't know seriously. So in that case, we have to raise a case that severe case that we are seeing production connection connectivity loss intermittently. Our client is escalating on us. This must be rectified. So you have to give the server name, database name, all the details. They'll rectify it anyway. Okay. They maybe it's a physical host issue, maybe something. They will fail over in the background. See, your SQL Server never go down. It is 24/7. You cannot even stop the SQL Server service. How do they maintain this uptime? Right? They have a Hyper-V clusters. If one host goes down, it will entire load will be taken by the other host in the background, which is the online migration. You don't even see that downtime that the host got migrated to other physical host. That's something very high level point you don't understand maybe, but still you don't see the downtime in the past model at all because of the underlying architecture is very protective in the background. But anyway, we should aware of how do we raise the case with a Microsoft, because certain situations you cannot handle it yourself. Though you are well knowledgeable, you know every service in and out, but you are absolutely helpless on the infrastructure side. Okay, you have to definitely go to the Microsoft. How do we raise a case? So click on help symbol here, the question mark help symbol here. You click on help and support. This is where you land in. Once you land in, there is an option called create support case. Here there are four categories to raise a case. Generally, as a technician, you always go to technical category. We are the technicians, we are engineers, so we don't go to the billing section. We don't worry about, only sales team will raise a case against the billing. If you say, if they say they see the unnecessary bill, or they see the lot of bill is more than the last month this month, so why this has been happened, they can inquire it, they can question it, and they can raise a case that they can get the more discounts. Why don't you get, reduce your bill, we are using these many services and you're still increasing the bill, kind of they can negotiate. It's not our job at all, but still there is something they can select that category, they can raise a case with the Microsoft, they can coordinate on that side. It's none of our business to talk about the billing and subscription limits. If example, A subscription can let you to create 150 SQL servers per subscription by default. And if you wanted to create more, you have to raise a case here. They'll increase the quote automatically, right? Subscription management. So these are all we don't touch. Don't worry about this. We only concern about technical category. Something is broken and you wanted to get it fixed, and that comes under technical category. As a technician, you must know about technical issues only. There is one thing, guys, billing I wanted to talk about. If at all you create some services and you forgot to destroy and you got a huge bill, it happens maybe with some people. I'm just giving you good information. This is will help you someone for sure in the class. If you create some service, you forgot to destroy and you got a more bill and you cannot afford to pay that. Maybe you got $50 bill, $100 bill, or Indians maybe they got 2-3 thousand bill. They cannot afford to pay. Assume a case. You can raise a case with the Microsoft that here summary you can write that I'm a new learner. You can write this absolutely too. It works actually. I'm a new learner and I got huge bill this month due to I forgot to I I forgot to destroy the services. So you can write down and then you can just give a description what you're trying to ask for, in fact, right? Refund request. Go to the refund request, hit next. You write down clear cut description, you get your money reimbursed straight away. They don't ask any questions at least once. You cannot go to second time that okay I did again and then I got more bill, can you get reimbursed? They don't look. Generally one time they definitely do it without asking questions, but you have to give a clear explanation what went wrong kind of. You can, this really helps, guys. Sometimes maybe for someone definitely it will help you pick up the period, the month period where you got the bill, and then refund amount how much actually it is showing up, and then you can write down the description that I'm a new learner, I just created my subscription last month and I turned my pay as you go workload, I've created some services but I did not destroy it. I forgot to destroy it actually. Due to that I got a huge bill which I cannot afford to pay personally. Can you please reimburse this time so that next time onwards I'll make sure that services will get destroyed on time to maintain my bill. You write something and which you need to explain them and submit this case without asking questions. Mostly they'll refund at least once per user. I did twice in the beginning. Okay, so twice case is different. I mean, you might get, you might not get, but first time you get it. So don't think that every time you go to the Microsoft they'll reimburse. Don't think that. Okay. In a single subscription, how many VMs, SQLs? You can create in a single subscription 10,000 VMs, in fact, in a single subscription. Yeah, limitations are there. I'll talk about it anyway. Don't worry about. We are at the. We are just talking about how do we create a portal. I'll give the information about the limitations. 150 SQL Server, 10,000 VMs you can create per subscription. We're going to see that, guys. I mean, limitation wise. So if at all, guys, if one of the month you got a huge bill, if you wanted to get reimbursed, use this option as a personal user. In the corporate, you never ever raise a case under billing section. Okay, but as you are going to create your own account, and then this is going to help you out some way. Okay, keep in mind. So all our cases in the real time will go under technical category because as we are the technical engineers. So maybe as I said, intermediate connectivity issue to your database. So connectivity, just right, can't find something. Okay, select the SQL database. Loss of intermittent connectivity, SQL database. Something you can write down which will give there's some idea about it, right? So what you need to talk about is connectivity, right? Connectivity and troubleshoot availability errors. So next, dropped connections. This is what we're going to talk about. So here, this kind of questions raised by many times with the Microsoft, they have a lot of documentation for everything that you're going to raise a case. So they have what you have to do: connections are not keeping alive, and sometimes you see that there is a break. And what you have to do, they have like a lot of documentation created, in fact, and you can just check it if you have a time. And it is a production thing, and you cannot wait for it to go through your documentation and resolve it. I'll go to straight away next. I don't want to read the documentation. I want to raise a case straight away. You can see that since how long you're getting this issue, you have to get that information from the application end, and you have to get this screenshot. the all the time they do ask for the screenshot. In fact, you write the description that one of our SQL database is actually losing the connectivity intermittently, and the connections are timing out during the production. Our customers are escalating on it, and please rectify this issue to not to happen again, because it's a high priority. Something you write down what's actually wrong basically with your database connectivity and all. uh, you just get the screenshot. The better the screenshot, the quicker the solution they'll give it. Basically, the more information give it about the issue, the better the solution they'll give it. Again, you write like a database connectivity issue, that's it. But what went wrong, at what time? You did not mention good details here. They'll have to contact you, gather the details. The more the gathering, the more the delay. So better to give as much as information to get the quicker solution. Okay, that's there. And how do you want to get contacted? You wanted to get contacted through email, by phone. You can select, and you can select what language the customer person, the technician from the Microsoft need to talk to you, right? The language also you can select, and your details will be given to them to contact basically. Okay, so this will be there. You click on the review create, and then the case will be submitted. And then you can trace your case details under help and support. Go to all my support cases. Here, whatever the cases you raised and what is the status of the case, it will get updated: unassigned, assigned, in progress, resolved, pending resolving. So there are a lot of different statuses you see it. And what is the last updated time, the case basically, right? So these all will be there. And this is important again: support plans. What is the support plans you have, your company has subscribed? So you have multiple support plans, which is a basic for beginners or learners. So there is no cost involved here. When you turn into pay as you go, select this one. So actually, with the basic support plan, Microsoft will not give you SLA. I have an issue, I'm learning personally, I'm subscribing for the basic support. There is no cost at all involved. You don't need to pay anything to get the support from the Microsoft. But there is no SLA given to you. There is no commitment given to you by what time the request can be fulfilled, right? Because you're not paying it, they are not giving the timelines. As simple as it is. For all our free workloads, I mean, pay as you go workloads or free subscription, should be under basic support model. Don't go for the developer. There is a charge for it. You need to pay $29 per month, though you take their support, you don't take basically. When you need it, you have to go there, and they will give you some solution less than 8 hours because you're paying something, in fact. So again, it's not something they are giving you solution within 8 hours. There will be a response within 8 hours. That is the meaning of that SLA. It's not something they are going to give you the entire solution within 8 hours. It all matters how quickly the solution can be given based on the issue. Maybe some issues can prolong for days also because of the nature of issue. Okay, but the response, this is all about the response, how quickly they can respond to your case, what you are raising it, in fact. Then standard, if you go to standard, you have to pay $100. You get the more better response: 8 hours, 4 hours, and 1 hour SLA. Okay, this is a response rate. Again, these are all not free for the like the standard. How much time they are spending with you is another billing. You will get it. Technician time, how much time they are spending with your case, that time is a billable. This is only response. How quickly you can get the response, how much money you are paying it. If I pay $1,000, in fact, it is under comes under professional direct. They will give some technical sessions also. Technical session, they will guide you how we can optimize your environment. It is not in the production phase. Professional direct also, you are going to implement the Azure infrastructure, and you wanted to get some expertise advice what are the best standards we need to follow and all that, right? Fine. So $1,000 you're going to pay, and it is per month, as simple as it is. You take their advice or you don't take it, it doesn't matter. Okay, but you have to pay this. This is the default nature. Okay, that's how it is. And Premier, every corporate will be subscribed under Premier support model by default. The reason being is, if you see the SLA of this one is 15 minutes. You cannot wait for 1 hour if it is a production outage. You got it, and you need to get someone engaged from the Microsoft. You cannot wait for an hour, in fact, right? So in that case, you have to go to the Premier. All corporates, all, if you are working in the real time, your support model would be Premier only. Here you no need to pay single penny if you are not raising cases with the Microsoft. You're not raising a case with the Microsoft, you're not going to pay anything to the Microsoft. If you are raising a case with the Microsoft, which plan do the companies usually use? This a Premier, always Premier. Premier is the one. Why this fit for the all the customers or companies in the real world? The SLA response, as well as you don't need any help in a particular month. You are not reaching Microsoft, you're not contacting, then you don't need to pay anything. There is no bill, in fact. This bill based on the amount of time you spend with the Microsoft technician. If technician is came on some issue, he spent 10 hours, 10 hours bill will you have to pay. That's it. If you don't, uh, see guys, in our case, we are paying $5 million per year to the Azure subscription. We are paying $5 million per year, in fact. We got a dedicated person from a Microsoft to support us directly if you get anything. There is a direct person. We will raise a case, we'll give it to him. He will definitely engage someone from the Microsoft technicians pool and engage with us straight away. There is a person who takes care of all our Microsoft cases. He's dedicatively assigned to us. You don't work for any other company. Because we are paying huge bill, there is a coordinator with us to take care of our issues, in fact. So like that, based on the number of resources you subscribe, you might get a free support as well. It is possible because you're premier customer. You're paying a lot of money already. Okay, they can give some technicians free hours, in fact. It all up to the company. Don't worry about cost and all that. You got issue, you have to contact the Microsoft, contact and get it resolved. It's none of your business that look at the bill side. Your business is to resolve the issue on time and make the business online. That's your issue. So how much you are paying, and is your companies really have some free support plans? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as a technician, but you need to know there are support plans available, and these support plans you must aware of. You guys following, right? What I'm trying to say? Let me know, guys. If you no need to, you don't have to keep quiet. If you have some question, please post your question in the chat, or else you can ask also. Either of the case, it works. Then health issue of your infrastructure. If they have any maintenance in any of the region, you can find it here. In fact, no services issues found. If they have any service, maybe you created some services in some region, the region has some issues in that region. Okay, so in that case, right, so in that case they'll update something here, so and so region, so and so issue is going on, and it will be rectified soon, kind of. They'll update here. You come and check here. Maybe if you see that huge outages and the cloud side, maybe multiple servers went down at one point itself. In that case, you come and check here, service health here. They'll update in that region. There is issue is going on. We are on it to, they'll write some message here. In fact, so you get to know if you see that a lot of services are going down all of a sudden, come to here under help and support and go to the service health. They'll update. In fact, if there is a major outage is going on in any of the region, in fact, right? You select all the regions and then you check it. No issues at any of the region at the moment. All are absolutely fine. If there is an issue, yes, they're going to write something here. Okay, that will give you that, okay, there is some issues going on in that region and your services are down. It is legitimate. There is Microsoft is on it, kind of thing. Okay, fine. Any questions on the help and support, and the support requests, support plans? It's important. And how you raise a case also, in fact. How you raise a case, you go to here, create support case and create it, as simple as it is. Is it is it clear? Any questions on this? So this is important, guys, especially because sometimes we are helpless, though irrespective of the experience, you might be helpless because of the infrastructure control. You don't have it. You have to go to the Microsoft. That's the reason you must be clear on how you reach the Microsoft for any case that you cannot handle it, right? So I guess it's clear to all. Fine. Silence makes me like you all are clear on this. Fine. Click on this. If example, you have an upcoming project, assume a case, you have upcoming project and you wanted to ask community to get the the implementation plan. You don't need to go to the Microsoft tech and ask that, okay, how do I implement this solution kind of. You have the Azure community here. Ask Azure community, click on this. There is a lot of help is available. There is a lot of help is available from the Microsoft. In fact, ask your question, whatever you wanted to do and whatever the category. You go and ask a question and post your requirement. Someone from the community will guide you the step-by-step process. In fact, they might be from the Microsoft, they might be some outside vendors, outside people. If someone is answering your question and you are marking it as a answered, they'll get the money. Microsoft is paying the community who are helping the community again. Your community, you are getting some Azure requirement. You are not sure about how you wanted to implement that requirement. Then go and post a question, ask Azure community. You click on your post your question at free of cost, and your question will be served by the community people. They can be anyone, even you or me also can answer. And if the person who raise the question is made your like your answer as answered, then you'll get some credits and you'll get paid for that by the Microsoft. That's the thing. They are actually following from the ages anyway. Even I'm part of it. Sometimes I did not give any solution. I don't have much time, but yes, I gone through such kind of things. I'm part of the community. Fine. So this is something it's useful to use it. Explore Azure documentation. There is a lot of documentation. You want to explore, go and explore. You go to database, all database related documentation. This talks about what is what. They don't talk about any troubleshooting here. In fact, a lot of troubleshooting is missing. It's all about how you manage, how you create. That's it. Only create and creation steps, not about the troubleshooting. Okay. So but there is a lot of theoretical information is available. What is Azure SQL database, what it is meant for, what purpose it is created. They posted a video also. You don't need to read all this blog. The video will tell you that what exactly it is, right? You can directly play it, what exactly it is, what's new, what's try for free, all that. So documentation is very rich. In fact, if you wanted to really go through a lot of knowledge, we can go for it. This is something it takes a lot of time to go through the documentation, in fact, right? It's not easy thing. There are a lot of things they posted it. And billing related FAQs, you have any questions about the billing? How do I contact Microsoft? You can contact. How do I pay it? They're going to give you the screenshot, anything that related billing, and you have all the questions answered here. Go through it. Whatever the question you have, definitely they would have answered in this FAQs. In fact, default FAQs, right? So that's something useful. Next, view visit quick start center. This is a new one, in fact. And like you can find something. I don't This is a new thing, in fact. Talk online course, introduction to Azure solutions database. So they're talking about learn about Azure with the following industry modules. So you can go by this and then learn kind of thing, it seems. Create a web app and deploy a virtual machine. Right, these are all information only, guys. Okay, come on here. What else you need to know? Right, this is all about it here under the help. And this is about your feedback. You wanted to give feedback every day, you can give it. You feel like something good about this portal, write the feedback. And you feel something bad about this portal, you can write the feedback. Actually, Microsoft will monitor every individual feedbacks to see here. Customer needs something. How do Microsoft know? They don't know. They build a product based of their knowledge already, and what enhancements they wanted, customer need to ask. How customers can actually express their feeling through the feedback. You're right. Okay, so on the service added to Azure cloud, it is really easy for us to learn, and it made our job easy. The service is too good. You can write like that. It's like you can see that SQL database connectivities are breaking too frequently on many of the database. This experience really becoming worst in the cloud, and this need to be rectified across the infrastructure. And this is never-ending complaint. This has to be taken care. You write something like that. What you feel good, what you feel bad, you need to write, but everyone's feedback absolutely monitored. Okay, there are a lot of bugs in the portal. I'm going to talk about that very serious bugs we have around. I'm going to tell you that, and they did not rectify it. Actually, we raised through the calls, we raised through the feedback. It's not happened yet, but there are serious bugs still around in the Azure portal when we are working towards database. We're going to talk about that anyway. But knowing things are important as a beginner, right? Then here, if you click on this, it is your subscription what you have created. And if you wanted to switch a directory, you wanted to go to your account where what are the accounts you have used, you can change it. If you wanted to change the account, you can change it. In fact, this is all about this, guys. This side. Let's come to this side. Okay, these are all common thing to everyone. Any profile you are coming from, you need to know all of this. Create resource. Actually, good thing with the create resources, these are all categorized. What you wanted to create, a database related service, click on database. All database related services are given here. In fact, if I wanted to talk about compute, VM related, all type of VM related. Okay, so where it like CPU memory, wherever you want it for a service, directly it is categorized. So quick create is good, but I don't use it personally. I never use it. I'll talk about what are the alternative to that. Homepage. Under homepage, this is all basically a static thing. Okay, whatever you recently used, you will pop up here anyway. But nothing much to talk about the homepage. Dashboard. This is important for us, especially. We can create our own dashboards. Dashboards will really help us, you know, to create our own custom dashboards with the custom services. Now, if I go to here, just again, I'll come back just a minute. Empty dashboard. This is an empty dashboard. You want to edit, click on this. This is how it look like. Now I'm working for 3 different clients, in fact. Okay, so I need to work with their maintenance window all the time. All right, so now if you look at this, there are 3 clocks. I kept it. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to here change it according to the sorry, I can change it here. Then customizing, where the heck they have given this options? All right, here it is. Fine. So here, 12 hours, 24 hours, what format, keep it. And then if you are working for a different client, maybe go and check. Just I'm giving it. So working for different clients, just random, whatever it is, just I'm keeping it. So Indian time is 7:55 a.m. and this, like this time zone is 11:25, 11:26, 25. Come on, whatsoever. So you your client timings, you cannot convert all the time, right? You cannot convert all the time. So in that case, go and modify it. Go and create clock and then match your clock according to the need, right? So that you can work on it. You can look at the time and then start working on it. That is kind of a dashboard. Again, if you wanted to add some more details to it, maybe I wanted to add a resource group. A resource group is something which will monitor everything that you have in the infrastructure. You can actually, if I don't adjust this, example 6 by 6, it looks like this. If I save this, it'll occupy almost your entire screen. I don't want this. Okay, so come on, I don't know this. Click on edit it. Maybe I don't want this to be this big, maybe small like this, and save it. You can adjust more things here. You can create more dashboards also. You can create more dashboards one by one. You look at and then monitor. Actually, I'm not finishing the dashboard yet. Dashboard is something very useful for us for many reasons. We can monitor the infrastructure using the dashboard by docking the services to your dashboard. How we can do that, we will see that as we go on into the course anyway. Okay, next thing I want to talk about the favorites. All services is very very important for us. All services here, anything that you wanted to search for, come to the all services. Maybe I wanted SQL related services. These are all SQL related services. You see this one, it is listed out all SQL related. Now if I place the cursor over it, it is saying that there is a star with blue filled color, right? If I go to this one, this is not actually added to my favorites. How do I say? The star is telling that the star which is empty as of now, it's not there in my favorites. See, this favorite means star should be filled with blue color, right? So example, this one, SQL stretch database, I don't have it. If I click on this, it will get added to my favorites. Where it will get added? At the bottom of your favorites. You see at the bottom, Azure database for MySQL flexible servers. This is what it is. But here, I wanted to add this to my favorites. Place a cursor over it. This will show up like this. Click on the star. It will get at the bottom like this. See? And then rearrange. If you wanted to bring it up, rearrange. So whatever the services I see in my list, whatever the services I do see in my list, I added manually. This favorites, it won't get built on its own. You have to build. You have to come to here, all services, search for the service. Maybe if I go with the virtual here, all services which I have the virtual, like key in that name, it will display. Virtual machine, it is there in my favorite. How do I say? This is actually filled with the blue star, right? So blue star. You see this one? And is it there in my favorites? Yes, it is there. How do I say? It is filled with a blue star. And again, this one, is it there? It's still there. Okay, it's also there. This one is there in my favorites? Yes or no? I don't have it. How do I say? This star is not filled with blue. If I click on this, it'll get added. It'll get added at the bottom. Sorry, here, virtual vans. I don't want it anymore. Added, but I don't want this in my favorites. Click the star again. It will be gone from your favorites. So you have to build all your favorite services under your favorites. You don't want to search every day, right? You don't want to search the services every day. You come to office, you search for it, you connect to that service and start working. It's not a good idea, right? You are working since very long, you have to build your own favorites. I do work on the SQL server, click on the SQL server and look at the SQL server and start working on it. And databases, virtual machines, storage accounts, networks, everything you have to keep ready. There are many services we're going to touch as part of our training, don't worry. So almost I have in my favorites, almost I'm going to discuss a lot of services anyway. So what are the services you access every day? Keep it at the top, like keep it at the top like this. You can readjust whatever you added, right? You can readjust. So keep it at the top and start working on that. Okay, so you can build your own favorites. Favorite services are which you regularly interact, in fact regularly do the administration on top of it, which means. So any questions from anyone? You guys all quite, in fact I think you guys following well. Are you guys okay, right? Everyone following, right? I am not teaching myself, so you have to understand, guys. I mean, if you have
Yeah,
questions,
yeah,
please.
we are good. We are good.
Thank you, thanks for the response.
We are good, Ravinder.
Yeah, yeah, if you have any questions, guys, please open up. Why? Because the reason being is, if it is goes one side, maybe it's okay as long as you are understanding. I'm okay, absolutely. If you are not asking, you're getting everything what I'm trying to say, it's absolutely fine. But if you have some questions, please open up. Fine.
Sure,
So let's,
sure.
yeah. So what are the prerequisite to create any service in the portal or anywhere, even if it is a AWS or Azure, it is the same situation, guys. It applies in every cloud. First, you need to have activated subscription. This is a mandatory. Activated subscription is the first thing to create anything. Activated subscription. Okay, this is the first thing. What next thing is resource group. Okay, you can under one subscription you can create n number of resource groups. It is fine. Okay, this is a high level hierarchy is a subscription. Then resource group. Resource group can be 1, 2, 3, depends on situation. Within the resource group, you create the resources. This is hierarchy. Everything is a resource in the cloud, in fact. Okay, we'll call it as resources or services. You can say anything, either resource or services. So first, you need to have activated subscription that we already discussed how we can create your activated subscription. Then resource group. Resource group is a logical entity. You can create anything in this. It's just a logical entity. You must have these two things to create any service for that matter. It can be database, VM, no need to name any service. Every service need these two tagging must be given. Activated subscription and resource group. Then you can create a resource whatever you wanted. And here the resource group can be should be created generally in the region nearest to your operation center. This will be given actually. In fact, you don't have to worry about that. It will be given by your architect or someone where you have to create the resource group. Actually, resource group can be created in one region. Resources can be in any region. It doesn't matter. So this will be discussed tomorrow maybe, but I'll quickly discuss. I'm creating a resource group. I have the subscription which is activated already, and I'm creating a resource group under it. Okay, a new resource group. Click on the resource group. So generally the thing, like where the business is operating, you need to know that. So nearest to that, you have to pick up a region of Azure and then create the resources. This is very, very important, guys. This will be big impact on the performance if you do create. Example, I have like in India, we have three data centers, right? One is West India, Central India, and South India. So there are three regions in India. So I'm saying south part of the India. If I'm doing the business in south part of the India, I have to create the resources here itself in South India. If I create the resources in West India, what happens? My connection has to travel here all the time, all the time. There is a latency will be imposed. Maybe I tuned it well, I went with a lot of optimizations, I did as per the best standards. It doesn't matter. Your connection is too long. In fact, it has to travel through. So you have to have the resources deployed in the right geographic region where nearest of that no the IT resources given by the cloud. Okay, you should not go randomly. You have to be well aware of that where the business is really running and which is nearest the Azure region is actually there. So you have to choose the perfect one to get the better response rate, because latency can be in many ways, right? It can be network, it can be standardized, you did not follow the standards, maybe configurations are not good, product is not actually up to the latest level, our hardware is outdated, our code itself is bad. There are many numerous reasons. Okay, but this is one of the reason, right? So you have to take care of that. So now when I'm creating the resource group, you must create nearest to the operation center where you are going to deploy most of the services. It's not mandatory that every service I'm going to create in this resource group should go into the same region where the resource group created, but the ideal part should be your operation center, your resource center where you are creating the resource means services should be nearer, co-located. It should not be too far. So I'm creating test RG resource group here. When do we create? It is a naming standards. I'll talk tomorrow. How you can create the names of services in the cloud, I'll talk about tomorrow. So I'm going to create the resource in West India or South India, wherever basically. So I can South India is near to me, but use this, which is fine. Tagging we will talk separately. This is a 10 to 15 minutes topic. It will help you to track the billing of every service. In fact, every service, every project, okay, and every environment. We can find the billing by a lot of categories, okay, using the tagging. We'll talk about that. So creating the resource group is so simple. In fact, you have to give the name and region and your subscription, under what subscription you are creating it. So it is quick service, it doesn't have anything. Creating the resource group does not generate a bill at all. It doesn't have anything in it. It is empty service. It is not holding any resources in terms of CPU, disk, memory, or any IP, or any some resource. Basically, some services are empty. In fact, they are act like a containers. They act like a bucket. Inside in it, you place the services and work on it. So this is like a bucket only. You don't get a bill for the resource group. You create a resource group, leave it behind forever. You don't get any bill. It doesn't charge you anything because it is not holding anything, in fact, right? If I wanted to create the VM now, I'm not talking about everything today. Tomorrow is the topic for us to talk about more about VM creation standards, okay? But for now, I'm going to create the VM quickly. When I'm creating the VM, first thing, look at this. I'm collapsing this. If I wanted to collapse manually, I can collapse like this. See, I can expand, expand, collapse according to the need. Now, here, if you look at this, first thing is subscription, and second thing is resource group. There would be many resource groups is possible. You select the resource group where you wanted to create this VM, for which project, which resource group, you need to know that. And the VM name, for now I'll call it SQL VM01, just for simplicity. SQL VM01. Region where you are operating from. Availability option, this is something I'm going to spend at least 20 minutes on this option. This is very, very, very important. This is going to protect your server against the accidental failures or planned events, both. So how does it is going to help your server to have the more availability? We're going to spend time tomorrow. And operating systems, we have a lot of operating systems, in fact. Okay. So if you see under Windows, you have a huge list to see. You have the version, edition, 64-bit, 32-bit, and you have many things, in fact, within that editions, right? Dataset edition, enterprise edition, standard edition, right? There are many editions again, and which version, which edition, which generation of the VM you wanted. So there are many things. I'm going to spend time on this tomorrow. Quickly, I'll create one operating system for now. Okay, from the default list. Generally, what we use in our environment is Windows Server 2019 Data Center Generation 2. This is what we use it. Okay. Then size of the VM. This is a this is where we're going to spend good time tomorrow. Okay. Uh, Tomorrow all about the standards. Creating a VM for the SQL Server. What are the standards you need to follow for the VM to have the product better performance? That we're going to talk tomorrow. For now, I quickly create one CPU, 1 GB RAM. This is a free VM. In fact, for 1 month, you run continuously 1 month, it is free. 750 hours, it is free, in fact. So one default account to talk to the VM. One administrative account should be there and the VM. So VM does not join the domain by default. You have to create the VM and join the VM to the domain. To join to the domain, first you have to enter into the VM, right? You need an account. This account is mandatory. It is administrative account by default. Okay, fine. So there is one thing called hybrid benefits. As I was saying in the demo, maybe let's go a little bigger so that you understand better about the pricing. If you look at 3,702 rupees 55 paisa I'm paying per month per this VM, per month it is. If example, already have the Windows platform, Windows infrastructure in on-prem, I wanted to use the same licensing on the cloud VM, you get the hybrid benefit. 3,700 something, right? Now 3,001, 600 straight away discount, you got it. 600 rupees straight away discount, you got it. You guys following? So here the bill got reduced because you are claiming that you are running the Windows infrastructure in on-prem and you already have the license. You're going to use the same license in the cloud. You guys clear? You're getting the hybrid benefit. If I uncheck this, what happens? The bill will be normal. So 3,702. So hybrid benefits are AWS cannot give the hybrid benefit. Why? This Windows Server software does not belong to them. It belongs to Microsoft. Microsoft is owning it. That's why they are giving it. AWS cannot give this for sure. Okay. Come on, fine. So I'll talk about the disk and all after 2 classes. Don't worry. I'm skipping this for now. Networking also I'm skipping for now. We'll see tomorrow. Every option that is there. How to monitor the alert? We have the alert is separate topic for us, 1 day topic. We're going to talk about that. How do you monitor the resources? How we can generate the alerts and what thresholds is separate topic for us. That comes at the like almost 70% after 80% of the course is done. How we can monitor it. CPU, memory, blockings of the SQL server, deadlocks of the SQL server, what connections are rejected because of what reason. We're going to see that. We have a lot of monitoring metrics, in fact. So now, if I click on create, see, this is what the VM I'm creating it. I click on the create. It goes through 3 stages. Try to follow this. First thing is submission, initialization, submission, and deployment. Every service goes through the 3 stages: initialization, submission, and deployment. This can be interview question, this can be exam question. Okay, you have to you have to memorize it. There is no way for it. Initialization, submission, deployment. Every new service will go through these stages: initialization, submission, deployment. If you go ahead, anyone have question? Or is not on mute? Praveen, do you have a question?
Nothing.
Okay, I muted you. It seems like I mean we were hearing your background sound. If you have question, please
Nothing.
let me know.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm muting or you can mute it.
Initialization, submission, and deployment, right?
Yeah, that's correct. If you wanted to keep it a shortcut, keep ISD. ISD calls, you say that. Installation, submission, deployment. I mean, as a shortcut. Better you memorize the ISD, you understand the flow of the deployment. Okay, this is very important. So now you see this one. I'm trying to deploy the VM, and it is giving you the deployment progress. It is in progress. And how long ago it is submitted for the deployment? A minute ago. It is tracking the time, how long it is taking it to fulfill the requirement. Wait for it to happen. It takes 2 minutes. Is there any standard naming convention? That's something I'm going to talk tomorrow. Don't worry. Not only VM, everything has the naming conventions. And how to standardize the naming conventions, tomorrow topic. Don't worry. I'll start all the standards tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, purely practicals. We'll enter into the practical side. Everything is a workshop. Who is not on mute? Praveen, you have a question? You're actually going on unmute for some.
Nothing, Ravinder. Nothing.
Yeah, actually, when you
Uh,
unmute yourself, you could hear some background.
Small question.
Yeah,
Regarding billing, um, initially we are go with basic plan, right?
you will be basic plan only all the time.
For practicing to learn, for practicing
Right,
and everything.
right.
Okay. Already we entered the credit card details, everything.
Mm, 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 mm.
Okay. After 1 month, do we need to deactivate or it will deactivate automatically, or else it will continue with the billing?
No, as long as you will be under free subscription, okay, you will be free subscription. They don't bill you at all. Okay, you need to turn into pay
Okay.
as you go. You had to pay as you go. You wanted to cancel your subscription after 1 month. You don't want it anymore. You can cancel your subscription. Come on, very.
Pay as you go is the free subscription, right?
No. Pay as you go is not free. You have to pay for it.
Okay.
You will get by default one free subscription, free Azure subscription. Okay, that is free for 1 month.
Okay.
Then after 1 month, you wanted to create some premium services. You have to turn into pay as you go. So if I look at, there are
Okay.
free services here. Let me type free services. You click on this, and then these are all free. For how long? For 12 months. Service is free for 12 months. 750 hours of VM with a 131 GB RAM. 750 hours of go on mute, please. I mean, guys, when you have question, ask question and go on mute, because everything is getting recorded. When others people watch the video, they will, feel, comfortable or interesting to watch the video again. So yeah. So here, uh, there are free services which are available for 12 months, but these are all not too big services. We will use it for certain times, but not all the time. This will not help you much to do the labs, what we're going to do. But anyway, we will use internally without knowing the services in the background. They will be discounted from the price automatically. But most of the services what we use, a little cost is involved. And you have to example, I created a VM, and a VM cost is 5 rupees per hour. 5 rupees per hour. How long I use for the class? Maximum 1.5 hour. 1.5 means 7 rupees 50 paisa per day. If I'm creating two VMs also sometimes, how much? 14 rupees. 14 rupees and 30 days. Calculate that way. So 450 rupees. So maximum I can cover up to 500 rupees in a month. Within 500 rupees, I can maximum control it. Okay. If it is US guys, maybe it is $7 to $8. $10 is the maximum. You need to just follow the suggestion. That is important. You can practice entire month every day. Still, your bill will be less than $10. Okay. So now this got deployed, guys. The VM got deployed. See, it is deployment is succeeded. Now I'll click on the VM. Right. Now I'll click on the VM. I'll log into the VM. Come on. Right. So how did I make a connection to the VM with a public IP, and how it is connected? So that's something we will see in detail. Don't worry. Like I directly making a connection, but don't worry. How did I get the network communication? It is a cloud machine which fall under a different network. My laptop which fall under my internet network. How do I reach that? That is something very good discussion. We're going to spend 2 classes on that side. Okay, we'll see that.
Ravinder, I mean that after 1 month, which will ask, right? Will you continue or not, or else which will automatically going to paid services?
No, you have to do it. They don't do anything automatic. They don't charge you unless without your consent, right? You have to do yourself. You want it to continue further, then you have to turn into pay as you go to create further services. It won't turn on its
Okay,
own.
fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Hi Ravinder, Deepak this side.
Yeah, Deepak. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have a question regarding there is any option to subscribe the Microsoft maintenance notification whenever the Microsoft performing some maintenance activities on some pass and IaaS database. So we should get a notification for about the maintenance activities.
Yes, everybody will get the maintenance notification
Actually,
basically, but you will give
actually,
a window.
yeah.
You will give
Okay.
a window to them. See, example, I should have shown this. If at all, I quickly talk about it. I mean, as you're asking it, if I have a SQL database, then I should have created a SQL. Come on, maybe VM itself. Just quickly, if I go to here, if I'm creating this VM, I can ask Microsoft to actually do the patching automatically here. See, automatic OS patching. The Microsoft will push the patch to the VM automatically on the window
Okay.
what you are giving to them. You will give a window, they will follow the patching on that window. They don't do other than the window what you give. You're giving it. But here, If you have a critical deployment during that window, they don't care about it. They don't even contact you. You gave a window to them, they will follow it. Basically, in our environment, we will follow the manual update. We will do ourselves. Our infra team will patch the cloud VMs also. Microsoft don't do it. Why? Because some critical updates or deployments and the patching cycle, if it overlaps, Microsoft will not contact us that you have a deployment, do can I go ahead kind of. No, they have the window, they'll do it. So there are many other services. We are going to talk about that. There is a window, we have to give it to them. Yeah, you can go on mute. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, go ahead if you have further question.
Yeah, actually, Ravinder, we have we got some issues regarding on Friday. So some maintenance activity performed by the Microsoft of US zone. So we didn't
Mm-hmm.
get any notification from Microsoft that they are going to perform any activity on that server. And
Uh-huh.
so all the managed instance got shut down, and application was almost not working for the client. So that was the issue that I'm one of guy though
Okay.
who is working with the cloud team. So he knows about that Microsoft activities going on because he subscribed that thing. So that's why he got
Right.
the notification from
Yes, yes,
Microsoft.
yes. See, whoever subscription, all people don't get the subscription that notification. Microsoft will not give that. Subscription owners will get the like that notification. I am the subscription owner here myself, so I'll get the notification. Not the entire employment will get the. That's not possible. He has to circulate
Okay,
that when he get the message.
okay.
That is
Thanks.
something whoever is owning. There will be group of people. There could be one person. There is a DL or there is an individual. That notification will be given to them if there is a major outage is going to happen because of their unexpected deployments or whatsoever. Whatever the impact will be given to that subscription owner contributor basically.
Okay,
Okay,
fine, fine.
that person need to be coordinated well with the. See, that's how the hierarchy in fact.
Yes, yes, got
Okay,
it.
fine.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you're welcome. So now here, guys, we created the VM, and if you see the VM performance side, we have two CPUs and 4 GB RAM. Uh, as Azure DBA, do we need to create all these VMs? Okay, good question. Actually, yes, we do create the VMs because we standardize them. We will create our own template to get the all the standards. SQL needs certain specifications should be turned on the VM side. What are those? I'm going to talk about after 2-3 classes, don't worry. But as a SQL DBA, we will create our own template VM. Using the template VM, we deploy the VMs, and every standard will get deployed into the VM automatically. So we don't need him infra help. So I'm going to share my experience, don't worry. Initially we were dependent on the Windows team only to create the VMs, but not anymore because we know everything. As a product guy, I'm working for 7 years with one product and sub products also. The major product I'm working for close to 7 years. I know end to end. So I got the full control. So it takes some time. Yes, maybe you join some company and the next day they don't give you control to create a VM, but down the line you do because you know the standards for the product. Okay, Dayakar? Fine. So now this VM
Yeah,
got
fine.
created with two CPUs and 4 GB RAM, right? If you wanted to scale up a VM, I'm not doing it, I'll do it tomorrow, but quickly I'll show it. If at all, what are the situations actually we will scale a VM? Scaling a VM means giving more power, in fact. So we will talk about, I mean, first, we don't give the, straight away, we don't scale it because it's a cost impact by default by directly. Go to VM size. You can click on any size that you wanted, 2 CPUs, 4 GB RAM to 2 CPUs, 8 GB RAM. Maybe the PLE is going down. I'll click on the resize. It will get resized within 1 minute. It takes hardly a minute to get resized. Okay. So anyway, what is
Uh,
the take? Yeah, go ahead, Praveen.
Ravinder, while creating virtual machine, how could we give the IP address to the virtual machine to access to take RDP?
That
It takes automatically, or we need to give?
we need to give, but for now, I'm not talking about that. It's we are in the beginning stage. We are going to spend 4 classes about the network itself. So there, we going to get end-to-end understanding about it. We are at the beginning, so I'm not finishing the topic yet. Okay, you get to know how cloud operate on the network side. on the 4 classes. Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
For now,
Okay.
we are just introduction, right? So we are not winding up
So
yet.
now you have given that public IP one something, right? 113
Mm,
something you have given, right?
mm, mm, mm. What's your
One
question
not
there?
you. Oh yes, yes. You have given right this IP.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Okay.
Again, this IP won't connect directly. There is a rule which is allowing us. So what is that rule? All that will be discussed in the networking module. Networking module. Don't worry. Everything you get to know about the
Okay.
infrastructure by the end of 10th class. 10 classes will spend it. You understand everything in the cloud. How the VM operates, how the network operates, how the storage integrated with the VM, how we can take the backups and all. By the end of the course, you get to know most of it. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay. VM creation and all comes under IAS, right?
Yes, anything that you touch a VM is IaaS. Without a VM and you
Okay.
create a service, you still have some customization that comes under as a PaaS. And SaaS is something you don't do anything. It is absolutely well deployed service. You deploy it and use it. So
Okay.
that's how the services are categorized. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will talk about all the
Uh,
standardization of the
Ravinder,
cloud.
one
Yes,
basic question here.
please go
We
ahead.
did not destroy our server. Okay, just I want to shut down the server and just I want to keep it. For that also it will charge.
Yes, it will charge for the storage. You have to destroy your resource group, and then that it destroys everything. That I'll talk about tomorrow, because I'm not actually talking anything about the standardizations. Tomorrow I'll talk about. So right after your practice, go to your resource group, just delete the resource group. That will clean up everything. In fact, whatever you created, you might create 100 servers, all will get destroyed at one go. I'll talk about that tomorrow. That's why I said I don't create the subscription today. Wait for one more day, at least 2 days, that we will get the more of practicals. There you create and start doing it. I'll show every day how you can clean up your resources once you are done with the everyday lab. Creating the resources will take only 10 minutes. Every day I destroy create. So again, it is a revision for all of you, and it is like a like you have to keep in mind that every day you have to clean up the resources and recreate, so that your bill never go up. Hardly 400 to 500 maximum you practice entire month. Okay, this must be followed. I'll make you have a habit of that, because every day I do it after the class anyway. Okay, that's all for today. Anyone want to ask anything, please let me know, else I'll stop the video.
Nothing, Ravinder.
Yeah, thank you. So